Hello and welcome back to the Right Within podcast. I'm your host, Michaela the Conscious Queen, and I am back with season 2. Oh my god, I am so excited to be starting a new season. As you guys see, we have some new cover art. I'm just so grateful and thankful to be making this content for everybody that's listening. A big thank you to my lovely audience. So in today's episode season 2, episode 1, we're going to be talking about authenticity. Why is it important to be authentic? Why is it important to be genuine, to be real with yourself and with other people? What are the benefits of being authentic? In your life, what can you gain from being authentic? So we're going to talk about a little bit of that. But first, we're going to talk about why is it even important? Why is it even important to be authentic? And I think it's because the more authentic you are, the more you will be put in places and situations. You will meet people. You will have experiences that matches your frequency, right? So there are so many times where we try to have experiences or we try to do things that is simply just not at our level, right? It's either not where we need to be, or we're like trying too hard, right? But when you're authentic, right, and when you're genuine, you start to attract things that are at your frequency, at your level, and you feel so much better. The people in your life is good to you, and they make you feel good and you make them feel good. You also, when you're authentic, you kind of also attract your tribe, your family, your friends. You attract your like perfect career or job, or maybe your dream location where you like to live. So that's just the I think one of the biggest benefits of being authentic is because you start to attract what's good for you, right? When you're authentic, you attract what's good for you. You gravitate towards what is for your highest good, okay? If you are dishonest, right? So if you are inauthentic or dishonest, that's exactly what you're going to get in return, right? So you're going to get people who are dishonest to you. You're going to get situations that are not going to work out for you. And it's because that's how you're being, right? So I'll give you an example. So authenticity is being true to oneself. If you like, let's say, if you like chicken, okay, and somebody asks you, oh, what do you like to eat? What's your favorite meat? What do you like to eat? And you say, "Oh, I like beef." Like, you're being inauthentic, right? Like, you know that your number one meat choice, if you had to pick any and every single time, is chicken, right? So when you are inauthentic, that's exactly what you get in return. You're going to get people who are, liars, and like people who deceive you, and situations that don't work out because you're putting that energy out into the universe, right? So the another reason why you should be authentic is because that's the energy that you want to receive, right? You want to receive people who are good to you, who are honest with you, who respect your values, and things like that. And so, right, you have to be honest about what you want and be okay with expressing really how you feel on the inside, okay? And also, you have to start saying it out loud, right? Say it out loud. Say your dreams, your desires, your goals, whatever feels authentic to you. Just start saying it. And it might be quote unquote unrealistic. It might be, maybe some people might think you're crazy, but like, just start saying it out loud, and be familiar with your true self. Get real for a second. And the more you say it the more it feels like, oh wow, yeah, this is me, right? Like, this is who I am. Because if it's in your heart, that means that you're meant to have it, right? So I'll go back to the example. If I say I like chicken, it's because I'm meant to have it. Okay. It's because like I love having the chicken, right? So that's just an example of why you should be authentic, is because on a deeper soul level, a spiritual level, you're meant to have that thing in your life. So whether it be like that place that you want to move to, or let's say you want to make a certain amount of money, or let's say you want to have a relationship, whatever. But as long as you're authentic about whatever your manifestation is, whatever you're trying to call into your life, the more you say it, the more you familiarize yourself with it, it'll no longer be like this challenge or something that's quote unquote unrealistic. It'll start to feel more real, authentic to you, because you're speaking from your heart, okay? So I listed a few ways. I mean, I touched on it a little bit earlier, but this is how you can tap into your authenticity if you feel like maybe you've been people pleasing too much, or you've been like, kind of not focusing on your needs and what you want. These are some ways that you can tap into your authenticity and start to express yourself how you really want to show up and appear into the world, okay? So the first one is you gotta honor your feelings, okay? So you gotta be able to listen to your feelings, because that's how the subconscious communicates to the conscious mind, is through your feelings. So you have to honor your feelings, whatever you're going through. Say to yourself, okay, you know what? I'm going through this and it's okay. And I know that it's not forever. I know it's temporary. And I know that if I don't push these feelings down, then maybe I can open myself up to something even bigger, something more awesome, right? Because we were taught to suppress negative emotion, or suppress things that we don't want to feel. But when you just like let out a good cry, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can then tell yourself, oh, okay, I feel so much better now, right? That I'm able to just feel my feelings. So that's one thing. You have to be authentic and honor how you really feel, because when you push your feelings down and you ignore it, that's when you start to live inauthentically. You start to do things that don't necessarily align with your spirit, with your soul. So start honoring your feelings, okay? Be okay to feel the feels, the happiness, the joy, the sadness, the pain, whatever. Be okay with it, accept it. All right? So that's the first tip. Second tip, if something is interesting to you, okay, it could be a hobby, learning a new skill, it could be fitness, it could be networking, whatever. If something is interesting to you, you should go with that interest. Okay, so many people, they don't have hobbies and they realize why they have fake friends and why people around them are not truthful with them. It's because they spend all their energy trying to you know, do things for other people. But the moment you kind of turn this energy inward and you start to do your favorite hobbies, or you start to have interests, right? You become an interesting person. That's when your authenticity begins to rise. That's when you start to feel more comfortable with yourself, because you're really tapping in. You say, "Oh wow, I'll use an example. I've always wanted to learn how to play guitar, right? Like, I've always thought about guitar and how awesome it is. And one day you just decide to just get a guitar, right? And you just play with it. You don't even have like a plan or anything like that. You just start to familiarize yourself with it because it's something that interests you, right? So that's just an example of of getting a hobby, finding something to do, right? It connects you to your soul. It connects you to your being. Like you become more than just, you become more than just like, I don't know, like scrolling on your phone all day, right? You have interests. You become an interesting person. So that's what authenticity is. Tapping into those hobbies, those interests that you've always had, you've always wanted to do. For me, one of my interests was, I want to say, fitness, and I'm so grateful and thankful to be able to work out, and just become and be in the gym and get strong and be healthy, right? So that's literally one of my hobbies. I pour myself into it and it's really rewarding, okay? So yeah, that's another way to start to tap into your authenticity, is do things that interest you. Have hobbies, okay? Be interesting. All right. So then the next tip is your confidence, right? I think this is so important, especially when you're tapping into your authenticity. You have to learn how to be confident in yourself, okay? The most authentic people that I have met, they're all confident. They all have this confidence. I don't care if it's, delusional, or you have to fake it at some point, but literally you just have to kind of step into this, step into this energy of, I got it and I know I got it. Even if you don't got it, right? Even if you might not feel that way, but you kind of just have to, kind of, it's your mind. You gotta like put the thought in your mind of, I am confident and I am worthy and I am cool. Like whatever affirmation feels good to you, and whatever affirmation boosts your confidence, that is so important when you're authentic, because that attracts exactly who you need and the places that you go to, and basically the lifestyle that you wish to live, right? That's what you do when you tell yourself the confidence affirmation. So I love that one personally because, even if you don't have it, even if you're not confident, the more you say it, the more it becomes real. And next thing you know, you think you're the best thing since sliced bread, right? So yeah, your confidence is so important. It's so key in being authentic, okay? And then the next step is, this one is kind of shallow, but I think it works. Is work on your appearance, okay? So yes, I am a spiritual person, and this is a spiritual podcast, but as within, so without, right? So I'm just going to talk about this movie that I saw really briefly. It's called Limitless, and Bradley Cooper is in the movie, and it's about this guy who is absolutely like, he's not where he wants to be in life, okay? He gets dumped by his girlfriend. He's not making any money that he wants, right? And one day he discovers that, he takes this pill, and this pill kind of just has him tap in, and he starts to be really productive, and he starts to get things done, and he starts to clean up. He looked from being homeless to, looking like a businessman, CEO, right? So basically, I bring in this example to show you that yes, you have to have the confidence on the inside, and you have to be interesting, have hobbies, you have to honor your feelings and your emotions, right? But all that's internal, your external has to match that as well. Some of the most authentic people that I've met, they dress exactly how they want to dress. They don't care about what's trending. They don't care about what people want them to wear. They wear exactly what they want to wear, right? And what they feel good in. And so that's a part of being authentic as well. You show up exactly how you want to on your appearance, right? So That could mean, investing in your beauty, investing in skincare, investing in like hair care, what else? Whatever it is on the external, right? To match the internal, right? So I feel like it's kind of also an indicator to other people, right? That you are not afraid to you know, look how you want to look, right? Like you don't really care what's trending, what's popular. You're like, I'm going to wear this cuz I think it looks great. So that's what I mean when you want to work on your appearance in terms of being authentic, because you want the outside to match the inside, okay? And then my last point is you gotta work on your time alone. So when you're alone, you kind of get a better understanding of who you are. Usually, when you're around people, I'm not saying to isolate yourself all the time, no. But what I'm saying is, when you are alone, you get a better sense of who you are and what you want, right? When you're around people all the time, you kind of get lost in their energy, and you don't necessarily think about what you want. But I just say, like, for my final point, that you should spend some time alone, spend some time meditating, spend some time journaling, really figuring out what you want. Like, at least if it's like a little goal that you set for yourself for the next week, what do I want to do next week, right? And just have that a little, that little time to yourself, because that really builds your authenticity when you show up into the world. You're not trying to fit in, right? You're being yourself, right? And people respect that. People respect when they see you and you're not trying to be somebody you're not. You're just like, okay, I'm me, right? Right? And so enjoy being yourself. It's actually really cool because you are literally a unique person. Nobody else in the world is like you. So that's your superpower, okay? So finally, I just want to wrap up this episode by saying that authenticity is literally the gateway to living your best life, okay? It has you, it trains you to be comfortable with yourself, right? And move through life like almost effortlessly, because, when you're authentic and you're honest, you say, people respond to that, right? And they say, okay, that's what she wants, all right, or okay, that's what he wants, all right. And most likely than not, you get what you are. So when you're authentic, you get authentic people. When you're authentic, you get the job that feels so good to you. When you're authentic, you live the lifestyle that's like, wow, like, oh my God, this feels like a dream, right? So yeah, opportunities, they will present themselves to you, and you just find yourself attracting your desire so easily and effortlessly just by being who you are. All right, so that was episode 1 of season 2. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Next week's episode, we will be talking about one of my favorite manifestation tools, vision boards and visualizing. Okay, so tune in next week to that episode. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next week. Stay right with them.